This is Nan McKay, and I would like to introduce you today to Diane Forster. Diane is an award-winning inventor, 2 times best-selling author, TEDx speaker, TV host, podcaster, international living expert, or I should say intentional living expert, and reinvention specialist. That's a lot. She works with clients privately and helps them clear away mindset blocks and limiting beliefs that can block them from reaching their full potential in business, life, and relationships. In addition, she has a live TV show. So let's find out more about this media rock star. Welcome, Diane.
Hi, Nan. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So I am going to get into your very first question, and it's going to deal with your awards. With all your awards, can you spotlight one of your truly best moments in life?
Well, oh my gosh. One of the best moments for me was winning the Innovation Award at the International Houseware Show in Chicago for my kitchen product called the Spifter. And the reason why is because I was working in corporate America, raising my twins, living in Chicago, and I love to cook and bake and entertain, and came up with had this frustration in the kitchen one day, decorating deviled eggs. And I saw this sifting spoon in my mind. I thought, God, it would be so cool if there was a sifting spoon like this with a long handle and a little sifting bowl and a tapping edge where I could just tap the spice where I wanted to go. That would be so cool. And so I set out on a quest to find it, and I couldn't find it. And a voice whispered in my ear, Diane, you need to create this. So not knowing what I was doing, I went through the whole inventing process, and I was literally just stumbling one foot in front of the other, just figuring out that next step. Well, that led to winning that innovation award at the International Houseware Show, which led to QVC being there. And then they started placing orders for it. And then they asked me to come on air on QVC, where we sold out in 6 minutes. So the reason why that is so the one that I want to highlight is because it's the one that most people ignore. You ignore the idea, but I saw the idea through. Now, were there bumps in there? All along the way, there were. But having had this idea and taking it from concept all the way to landing on QVC is truly one of the greatest things I'm most proud of. Yeah, that was one of the best awards ever.
How exciting. And you're right. So many times people think, oh, I wish I had, or I should invent, and then nothing ever comes of it.
Right. Yeah. And I work with a lot of clients who are reinventing their lives, and they're transitioning, and they do have these ideas, and I don't push them hard, but I move them in the direction of it, because if it's 95% of ideas get buried in cemeteries. People just don't do anything about it. And what's the worst that could happen? If you try and it doesn't work out, then you try. There's no regret. But if you've come up with an idea, chances are you've received it and it's meant for you to pursue it. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you have a very interesting mission in life. I mean, it's big. It's to see that 1 billion people who don't know their self-worth discover their true divinity, power, and purpose.
Yes.
So tell me about your plan.
Well, the plan for that is, it's all about divinity, power, and purpose, really knowing how divine you are, how you are the power, you are the light, you are the creator, that comes from within. We think it's outside of us, and it's not. And that's your power. And your purpose, for me, the definition of purpose is whatever brings you meaning. You know, you don't have to come here to serve. You don't have to do, save the whales or any of the things that you want. You really don't. It's what brings meaning in your life. What are the things that you want to experience in your life? And the billion came, it was divinely gifted to me. I literally received that message as I receive a lot of things. But when I heard it, I said, oh, wow, that's awfully big, like you said. And then I said, well, I'm just going to trust. I'm going to trust that that's doable. And it's going to be something that I get to live, not leave, leave it too, but live it at the same time. And the reason that is my mission is because I know what I went through in my own life, and I reinvented my own life. I was working in a corporate job that were like golden handcuffs. And I was in a marriage that was very unfulfilling and toxic and narcissistic. And I didn't tell anybody that this was going on with me because the packaging of my life before I'm doing what I'm doing right now, it looks so good. And I, was questioning myself, why aren't I happy? These are supposedly all the things that I thought I wanted. And yet I wasn't. And so all of that, Nan, led to a suicide attempt. And that was in 2011. And I'm not skating over this like it's nothing. It was a very big deal. And it was a moment. It wasn't premeditated, but I experienced a God moment in that bathroom that changed my life forever. It changed my life forever. And that set me down this path of changing my life. Why am I here? What is this for? What do I really want? And so I have the Billion Women mission because I know what I was going through, and I call it a ho-hum hell. So some people have a lot of things wrong. Some people are like me, not necessarily too many things wrong, not necessarily wrong, just not right and not happy and fulfilling. And so we stay stuck in these lives and these marriages and these jobs because we are questioning ourselves. Well, how can I change this? How can I get out of this? Should I? What's wrong with me? Why aren't I happy? And so it's my mission to empower these women so that they can be living any kind of life that they want, they truly deserve and desire. So, yeah.
Wow. Diane, in your business, you work with clients privately to help clear away mindset blocks and limiting beliefs. So it probably ties into what you were just saying, but describe one of the mindset blocks that you encounter most as you work with other people. And then tell me about how that ties into limiting beliefs.
Okay, so one of the ways that I really work on mindset is focusing on what I call the ABCs, that awareness begets change. So once we're aware that the way we're thinking is creating the way we're feeling, which is creating the way we're communicating, which is what is responsible for everything that's manifesting and showing up in our lives. Those are our outcomes. We are so unconsciously speaking about our lives and keep getting the results that we're getting because of our language. It's all of those things, but I focus on language because that was in the way for me. I would focus on the negative things, not the positive things. And so when I'm doing mindset work, the first thing I do with a client is we do a desired life assessment. Well, let's take a look at your life. Let's take a look at your past. And I can instantly start picking up where they got that belief, based on that. And then, they're going to look and measure and survey their life right now in what I call the 8 key areas, what's working, what's not. It's typically the big 3, which is, money, finances and relationships, but it's other things too. All of that stuff works together. But the key in the assessment is, all right, well, let's take a look at your life 3 years from now. Where do you want to be 3 years from now? What do you want your life to look like? And they have to, for the first time, really get a little clear about what that is, because most people don't think about that in that way. So when you're defining it and you create specificity around what you want, well, now we can start manifesting it. And so that's the very first step that I do with them, is that because they start, once they have this assessment, and now we can see, now I can create the roadmap for them. I create, for many of them, I create personalized mantra meditations that they listen to, which does the rewiring in the subconscious mind for them. And all of a sudden, they are excited by life. They're excited about the potential and the opportunities. They're dreaming again. They're feeling those emotions where they have to get up and go again. And so it is the fundamental first step with every client of mine. Even if we're going through career change or branding or business building, anything like that, we do mindset first. It's the first important step. Yeah.
And by dealing with mindset, you're then getting rid of the limiting beliefs by giving them the positive thoughts to repeat over and over to themselves.
Yes. Yes. What they're saying and how they're responding is all laced with, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not capable enough. I'm not lovable enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough. That is inherited limiting beliefs that we got in childhood. Most of them, 85% of them, were anchored in us by the time we're 8 years old. And it's the programming that's going on in the subconscious mind, which is 90% of what's happening in our minds is happening there. And every memory, every experience, every emotion is in that database. It's like your phone or your computer. Think of your phone as it's the same age as you are. Okay. Imagine that right now. Imagine it's never had a software update. There's no antivirus software in there, and never. How slow and sick would this run? It would only be able to operate on a few programs. It would be really glitchy. It would have problems, right? That's what's happening in our subconscious mind. So we're running on that same old programming over and over and over again. And in order to make that change, we've got to feed it. I call those the dandelions, those weeds that are sitting in there. We got to replace those dandelions with a bed of roses, the new opportunities, the goals, the dreams, the ideas. And so, and it's, our brain has neuroplasticity in it. It's not getting older. It gets excited by the new information. So yes, it creates new neural pathways so that you can actually start living a more intentional life, which is what I do.
I don't know if you've ever been asked this question, but it makes me think of a segue that I wonder about, how we went through a phase of everybody had to have a trophy. Everybody was the winner in a sense for kids. And I'm wondering whether any of that mantra, in a sense, that went on with parents and their children, if that transferred over to when they get to be an adult, they find out, no, everybody doesn't get a trophy. You are on your own, and what you do and your behavior will matter, but no, everybody doesn't get a trophy. And when you're an adult, is there any tie in there? Is there anything that you've ever found about that?
Well, I will tell you how I feel about it, Nan, because I actually feel that everybody getting a trophy or a ribbon was a good thing. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way, but those kids went into those experiences, most of them, because their parents wanted them in this situation. So my belief, this is my belief, is, yeah, you're worthy. You showed up. Whether you played or you didn't play, you were part of the team. And I think there's more team building there. I think where the limiting beliefs come from, well, first of all, thousands of ways they come in. They come in thousands of ways. We get told the word no 7,000 times by the time we're 7 or 8 years old. bad girl, bad boy. We get bullied. We fight with our siblings. We see our parents fighting. They say you can't afford that. Different things happen. Might be teachers or other adults in your life. It might be mean kids or bullies. There's a lot of ways I'm not enough comes in. A lot of ways. And then as we get a little bit older and we get out of those first 8 modeling or imprint years, we go into the modeling years and then the socialization years. And then there's a lot of input from outside. In the outside world, we have 70,000 impressions a day of the media or people telling us we're not enough. You need this lotion in order to be pretty. You need this outfit in order to be cool. All of it is where it all comes from. So being able to get to a place where I am enough just as I am. And so a lot of the messaging that I do in these mantra meditations is all about that. Hey, I'm a work of art and a work in progress at the same time. I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm good and I love myself. And it's a lot of it is hard for people, women, to hear this initially because they're not used to it, hearing that in a way that they can receive it. Because when I'm saying it to them, I'm speaking as if I am them. I'm connecting with their selves, their soul. And so even if they hear it from outside people and they don't believe it, it's easier to push it away. When it's actually you, I am this, and I am, it starts to take on, the job of reprogramming that and go, yeah, maybe I am capable enough. Maybe I'm worthy. Maybe I'm good enough. And maybe I'm in my own lane and running my own race to the things that I want. And it doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. And part of this definition that I have on my website of intentional living is what intentional living means is you stop leaving your life up to the outside circumstances, people, or experiences that you decide how you want to live, how you want to feel. You get to choose that. That's a decision you get to make. And so if we can get rid of the noise that's stopping you and blocking you and open you up and get clear about what it is you really want, you're going to start manifesting it like crazy. Like it's so magical and so fun. Yeah.
So do you think this ties into the imposter syndrome?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's part of it. It is that, the imposter syndrome of, that runs rampant and I know many, many, many people who have it. I know I've certainly suffered of it. And at times I have to catch myself because there's still programming there. Oh, no. That's the person I used to be. That's not the person I am now. And when you start to really build that muscle, knowing how incredibly valuable and amazing you are, because everybody is, the more you do that, the more confidence you have. And it's self-confidence. It's not power over anybody. It's just being confident in your worthiness and deservingness to exist and to be here and to live the life that you want to live, do what you want to do, experience what you want to experience. Yeah.
Kind of like learning to love yourself.
Definitely. Yeah. Yes.
In working with people, I assume that some of them are over 50. What do you think are the top 3 wants, let's say, that women over 50 have today?
Yeah, well, most of my clients are over 50. They want fulfillment, their definition of fulfillment. They want freedom, and they want creative expression. That's what I believe they are. They want to feel excited about their life each day, get up and do what they do. They want the freedom to do what they want to do. They want the financial freedom to do it. And that creative expression, especially, this was my experience as someone who worked in corporate, and I worked in advertising and in television sales. And so there was creativity around me. I wasn't in the creative departments, but I got to be somewhat creative, but I didn't get to be creative the way I wanted to be creative. So I was giving my best to somebody else's bottom line, which was fine until it wasn't. And when my soul and spirit were calling me, like, to have all these things collide for me to hit that pivotal moment in the bathroom that night and totally change my life, I started going deep into those questions. And really what was coming out for me is, I want to inspire and empower. I want to write books. I want to speak. I want to coach. I want to host a TV show. I wanted to have creative expression in my life. And I think that is a thing that many women, especially women over 50, are craving and desiring too.
And you can't do it if you die.
Exactly. And if you wait and keep putting it off, you're going to get to that end and you're going to regret. So I always say to my clients, what would that be like to hit that point where you didn't take a risk? Because here's the thing, Nan, we're always risking something. Always. I got this from Price Pritchard in his book, U Squared. We're risking going after our dreams and possibly falling down or failing, right? Or risking it working out, or we're risking staying stuck and living with regret and dying with the music still inside of us and our dreams and desires not coming to fruition. You're risking something at all times. So what is that you're risking? The thing that you really want or the thing that you're stuck in? Yeah.
Interesting. It seems like things have changed a lot. When I think about women over 50 today versus women over 50 in our mother's time, looking backwards, it seems like there's a feeling that is, I need to still be fulfilled. I may only have another 10 or 12 years working, and I need to do something different. Are you seeing the difference in the age, or you certainly aren't a granny in the rocking chair with white hair when you reach 50 today.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, well, first of all, people are living longer. Thank goodness for that. And so I'm in my 50s and I feel like I'm just getting started. I truly feel like, yeah, I probably have less time in front of me than I did behind me. But I also feel like, I affirm and I put it out there that I'm going to live a long, healthy life and die peacefully in my sleep, well into my hundreds, having, all the things that I affirm. But I do feel that when we hit this point of the 50 mark, I call it the second chapter. Some people call it the second half. I don't think it's the second half. I do believe it's the second chapter. But now we're going through this time in our life. This is why I call it, transitions, and we're reinventing. We want to do this because most of us are empty nesters now, right? Our kids are off to college or grown or, are launched on their own. Many of us go through divorce at this time, or we're thinking about it because of life situations that have changed. Maybe I know, a lot of women stay in a marriage until the kids go off to college, and it's so sad, but it is the reality. And maybe they've been working in a career for 20, or 30 years, 2 or 3 decades, and they're feeling like, I'm just stuck. This is so many of the women that I work with. They have these scenarios going on. And so it's scary to think, oh my God, I'm going to start over in my 50s. But what if it's exciting? Yay, I get to start fresh and new. This is so amazing. I get to take my entire life of experiences, and you have had a lot of experience. If you've been a mom, you've been project managing all your life. If you've done any organizations, you've done management, you've done so many things in your life that you're probably not classifying as, an asset. And then those of you in careers who've done it, it doesn't matter. all of that has value. So the next question for you is, so yeah, what if you did only have 10 or 12 years? What if you had 30? What if you had 40? And so wouldn't you rather have 10 or 12 years of bliss and potentially all that other time to create a life that you absolutely loved? Like, Nan, I work, I don't like saying this, but I have to say it this way. I work harder than I ever have before in my life, and I never feel like I'm working because I love it so much. It just feeds my soul so much. So that's not quote unquote work to me. That's fulfilling a passion and a purpose in my soul. And so that's what I want for these billion women. I want them to feel lit up by their lives. Doesn't matter how old you are. But right now, let me share this with you if that's okay. Here are the statistics. The number one age group for suicide attempts, because I was one of those, is women between the ages of 45 and 64. Number one, not teens. Now, men in this age group are more successful at it, but more women attempt it. And it's because they're going through this transition. There's a lot of science behind it too, of what's happening as well. This is why I focus on this age group as well, because I know what they're going through. I can feel it. And we've done all the research. We've got so many things coming up and out about it. And they are staying stuck in this place because of the things that I shared with you. And it's not, a lot of it isn't just, oh yeah, I don't feel worthy. They're not consciously saying that. They're staying stuck in a life that is familiar to them because their mind is keeping them in the familiar. The subconscious is keeping them in the familiar. They don't know how. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do first. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know who to share it with because their family might think they're crazy and their friends might think they're crazy. You know, they have a lot of things that are holding them back, and they've got to be brave enough to go, you know what? Raise my hand. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to do the research to change my life. That's what I did. So I provide a platform and a place for them to do that.
Tell me, would your list be different when you looked at the wants? For women, let's say over that top of the range that you talked about, the 65 and over, what do you see different there?
Well, I'm not there yet. So I will tell you what I've observed and then what I believe. I believe the 50s are truly one of the greatest decades that there is for women because of the things that I've just shared could be really hard and really challenging too. But I believe that in our 50s, we're just really awakening to who am I? How do I want to live? How do I want to feel, right? So it's a time of being inquisitive and learning and growing and expanding. I think for the woman in her 60s, a lot of that has resolved itself and she's more comfortable with who she is. So I think her wants are more on a scale of maybe being a little more altruistic. You know, the things are starting to click in my life and I'm starting to feel fulfilled. And now I really want to focus on giving back in a way and think about that legacy that I want to leave behind. And she's more comfortable and confident and systematized and ingrained in who she is and what she's doing. She's also not afraid to make a change if she's not feeling that it's going the right way. So her wants are, she still wants the freedom, you know, she still wants the creative expression, but she also wants to give back more in a way. Yeah.
Are you seeing women in this age group starting businesses?
Oh, for sure. Definitely. I see women in their 70s starting businesses. I'm so pleasantly inspired by a woman who's not given up on herself, not giving up on her life. She's going after her dreams. She's trying to figure it out. She's open to being a student of what's next, and I just applaud her so much. And I admire that so much. So yeah, 50s is that's, if I had to generalize, it's that's the disruption decade where, wow. And it's definitely time to act in that time. Don't wait. And you can transition in a way where you don't necessarily have to leave that paying job. You can still build your side hustle, or at least figure out what that is. And then I feel like the 60s get more, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. You're more comfortable with what you're doing. And now you can grow it and scale it and do whatever you want to do with it. Maybe play more, maybe work less, whatever that is for you. And the 70s, I'm always, just pleasantly surprised, like I said, about them, their gumption, their grit, their tenacity, their cojones, their, ability to really keep going. It's beautiful.
And now we're going to have to look at the 80s.
Yes.
Because that's just around the corner for me. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. What's the difference?
Hey, look at Jane Fonda. She's in her 80s. Barbara Streisand's 80 or 82. I think she's 80 this year. There's so many fabulous women in their 80s that are role models. And, what's the alternative, Nan? Like, do you want to just sit around and just rot away? No, you got this life, live it. Squeeze the juice out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you were the 2020 Global Excellence Award winner for the Coach of the Year in California. I'll bet you've had even more awards since then. Tell us kind of all about this and what sets you aside from other people.
Well, thank you for that. And yes, and in fact, in 2021, I won America's Most Inspirational Mindset Coach, which is such an honor and a privilege for me. You know what I think it is, Nan, that I'm uniquely skilled in the fact that I am highly intuitive and connected and can read energy, and I can read people really well. I can extract really well what it is they want. And I'm able to do the mindset piece of it first, which is so important. But I'm also a very savvy businesswoman, and I know branding and marketing and strategy and sales and client relations. So I can take both of those things and create these, what I call have it all lives for women. So we don't leave anything out, but be able to take all the unique skills and gifts that you have and turn that into something that's really tangible and really you, so that when you're out in the world doing what you're doing and you are authentically showing up at yourself, which automatically attracts people to you. They just resonate with you. And so that's part of what I'm doing with my TV show. And I'm teaching women how to launch their own TV shows and host their own shows based on all of this that I'm teaching. So I think that is also one of the factors that sets me apart, because it's my belief, being, having a background in advertising and TV sales, having my own television show and what it's done for my career, that I want all women to have a TV show as well and add that vertical as part of their business, because it really helps them stand out as a celebrity, as a star, as an expert in whatever it is they're doing. And it's so fun. So I think those are the assets I have, and the aspects about me that make me unique and different, and why my clients have such massive positive results so quickly. So,
well, let's talk about that TV show for a minute. I think that's just fascinating. So how does one go about starting a TV show?
Well, one of the things I'm doing is hosting a webinar to teach it. And the thing about it is video's not going away. It's not. And the pandemic changed the landscape of TV, and for lack of a better word. And it's definitely TV that I'm focused on, but video in general. And it's the onus is upon us to become really proficient and very, very good at video, because it isn't going anywhere. And that is the main source that people consume content, is through video. And by having a TV show, what I mean by that is, I'm not saying you're getting on, ABC or NBC, the over the air stations, although that's totally possible. What I'm saying is you need to learn how to do a TV show really well first and get it started. Start figuring out what's working for your audience and your market. Decide if you even like doing it, and take all the skills that I'm going to teach you how to do it, top to bottom, soup to nuts, A to Z, what you need to do it. And I cover everything from the set to the lights to the camera, the platform, your wardrobe, how to create content, compelling content, how to get guest booked on your show, all the things you need, how to leverage it, how to monetize it, how to get viewers to it, because it's just made a world of difference in my life. And I know these awards have come to me because I have a TV show. Life and mindset coaching is popular, very crowded space, and yet I'm winning awards and getting speaking gigs and all these kinds of things happening, which again is an honor. I know it's because of the TV show. I do know that. Yeah. Plus,
I want to sign up. I want to sign up. Tell me where I do it.
You will sign up for it. And I can't wait to have you there. The other thing is, it's your own stage and it's your own platform. So while it's great to be doing other interviews like this, I love doing this and getting, TV appearances. I've done, several of them. I did 2 last week. Those segments are 30 seconds to 2 minutes long. And then your yesterday's news. When you have your own stage, you get to talk about whatever it is you want. Your content lives forever. And it's law of reciprocity, where when I'm inviting people on my show, they will reciprocate and have me on their shows or refer me to other people. And it just gives you more and more exposure. Your audience grows from it. It's a win-win, and you can do it for no to very low costs. You don't have to make it expensive, but the key is starting. Learn it and start it. Yeah.
So people can sign up on your website?
The place you would go is dianewebinar.com, dianewebinar.com, because I teach a master class. Yes. And we're actually going to be doing a 1-day intensive on it, but I don't have the details for that yet. I don't even have the date yet. I think it's going to be, anyway, I would go right to the webinar, because that will have information for future events. But yeah, get registered for it right away.
Well, one thing that we can do for you is put it on the guest news flash. So as soon as you have some information, everybody can come to our website, namakconnects.com, and go to under blogs, guest news flash, and we'll put it there.
Okay, great. Okay. Fabulous. Well,
so you've written
thank you.
6 books, which will be for sale on our website. So tell us about your latest one.
Well, my latest book is A Better Today, and it's so super fun, Nan. This book is, I created a course, a 30-day challenge on how to have a better today. And each day gives you one little thing that you can do that day to have a better day, to have a better today. And it's designed to be fun. It's called Improve Your Life in 30 Days with this fun, inspirational, motivational challenge. And what it does is it teaches you what I said at the beginning, the ABCs, the awareness begets change, of just how powerful you are. And how the littlest things, that 1% better every day that I talk about, creates that micro change, starts to create macro results in your life. So it's called A Better Today. And I'm so proud of it. It's so fun. And it's definitely something that anyone can do. And I highly encourage people to do it and have a blast with it. So yes, that's my latest book. So thank you.
Okay. Well, everybody should run out and buy that one.
Yes, they should. I would
Now,
love that.
one of the things that you have done that I am just like blown away with, it is so good. It is your website. You have one of the very best websites marketing yourself and your products that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So the thing that's interesting, and I think people can learn from, is that you have lots of different products. You don't do just one thing, but they all have the same focus.
Yes.
So how'd you put that all together? Did you have a consultant? How could people do the same kind of thing? Is it your idea? How was it created?
Well, definitely work with me, because I am an anomaly and an enigma out there, because I do have the background in advertising and branding and television. And so I think like a marketer, and I think I have a formula that I teach called M+I=O. And it means movement towards your intention will deliver your outcome. So back to the umbrella of intentional living, which is who we are and I have today, all the branding gets tied to this. This is strategy, Anne. And this is why I do these assessments with people, so we can take all those facets and create your unique ability in your brand. So back to the formula, we have to know what it is you want, your outcome. This formula, you fill it out backwards. What's the outcome that I want? Then what's the intention for that outcome? Well, I intend, I want to have a beautiful brand. Well, I have multiple products that I sell, online courses. Maybe I want to be automated, right? And I want to sell, I want to make money while I sleep, selling my knowledge in a digital course. Let's just use that as an example. Okay. So that's the outcome that you want. Well, what's the movement? What's the intention for that? Well, my intention is I need to create a course that's going to attract the right people so that it can make money in my sleep, right? Well, then what's the movement towards that? Well, I have to create it, right? So I have to, create the outline of it. What is it going to be? All of the things. So if you think in terms of that, that's how you do it. So I do not do anything without intention. What is the intention behind this? What's the outcome for my audience, for my clients, for my fans, for my followers, for my customers? And really figuring that strategy out first, and then everything comes from there. And we're very big. And I one of my assistants, she constantly tries to do media posts, social media posts with different fonts and different things. And I always kill it. And I say, no, we never go off brand. Ever. McDonald's never goes off brand. Nike never goes off brand. Starbucks never goes off brand. So you have to be able to figure this out. What is your brand? Whether it's your business or you or both in most cases. And everybody is a brand nowadays. It's personal branding. And so how I was able to do that and build it, and trust me, it didn't happen overnight. It's happened over the last 6 years of me running this business. But what it allows you to do when you're super intentional with it is create fast. Create fast. You get the feedback fast. You can see what people really need. Well, what do they need next based on what I did last? So thank you for the compliment, but it's about always, you gotta design your brand. What is it? And then everything has to stay in alignment with it.
So with all you have done, what's your next step? What are you seeking next?
Yeah, I know I'm such an underachiever, right? I know I am definitely the type A person, but I just love it. What's next is we are launching a television network of women for women. So this market that I shared and talked to you about, these women, 45 to 64 years old who need this support, this is for them. This is their place that they're going to go to get all the resources they need so that they can reinvent their lives, live intentionally, go after their goals, dreams, and desires, have support and have the information that they need, because some of them know what they know and know what they don't know, but they don't know what they don't know yet. And when they have the question, I want them to be our multimedia company. We're starting with a television network, is their place to go to get it. Yeah.
Do you by any chance have an offer that you'd like to give to our listeners that would be special for them?
Yes, I would love to offer you a desired life assessment with a $50 discount off for just this community, Nan, for your community. And I know you'll have a link for it, but what you'll do is you will, pay for it, book it with me, and we will create your desired life design. And we'll make it be anything that you want it to be. But it's the first step I suggest anybody take. So that's my gift to your audience.
Well, thank you so much. It's been such fun to talk to you. You are doing so many fun, exciting things that I wanted to hear all about it. And you've been so good about sharing with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave us with?
Well, I want to thank you so much for having me. It's truly been I'm humbled and honored to be able to inspire your audience this way. I hope this is what I want to leave you all with. I have today. Say it again. I have today. All you have is today. Your past is behind you. Your future is waiting for you to create it. But where you start your life is right now in this moment. So when you get to the end of this day, you can say, yes, I did something today to move my life in the direction of my goals, dreams, and desires, even if I don't know what they are yet, even if they change. But I'm going to move in inspired action today and not let anybody tell me what's truly right for me. I'm going to figure that out myself, and I'm going to live it intentionally. So.
Well, thanks, Diane. We appreciate everything you've said, and we appreciate your good wishes.
Oh, thank you, Nan. Thank you. Have a beautiful today.